So, it's a non-provision of public goods. Public goods, what are public goods? Goods that are not excludable. That means every individual have the right to consume them. That's what we call a public good. So the topic is non-provision of public goods. So non-availability of public goods. That's what it means. So goods, what are goods? These are products made of services rendered. They are goods, either a product or a service. So here we have the public goods and the private goods. What is the difference between the private goods and the private goods and the public goods? For public goods, it said these are goods that are non-rival and non-excludable. So these goods, it is non-rival. And when we talk about non-rival, it means that the consumption of such goods does not stop others from consuming the goods. So if I consume it, you also have the right to consume it. Do you understand? So here it said, the consumption of such goods by an individual does not stop the consumption of another person. So whoever, in as much as the product is available, it is non-rival. If it is non-rival, it is a public good. It means I can consume it, you can consume it, anyone can consume it. That's what a public good is. Example is the air we breathe in. It's a public good. So I take the air in. My own breathing in does not stop your own breathing in. Like defense, security, it's for everyone. In as much as you are in this country, the Libyan government must protect you. So we have more people with more population, does not stop the protection. That's defense. So defense is also a public good. So it must be non-rival. That's the first one. The second one, non-excludable. Once such a product or service is made available, it becomes beneficial to all. It is non-excludable. What does that mean? It means that in as much as it is being produced or provided, everyone must benefit from it. It becomes beneficial to everybody. That's what we mean by non-excludable. Non-rival means the consumption, my own consumption of it does not stop you consuming it. That's non-rival. But non-excludable means, in as much as it is made available, it must be beneficial to all. Is it clear? Yes. Wait. So examples of public goods are clean air and defense. Taking clean air in does not stop you from taking it. Defense is also a public good. Street lighting. So street lighting, if there's light on the street, me using it to see does not stop you from seeing. So I will see with it, you see with it, everybody can see with it. So seeing with it does not stop you from seeing with it. It makes the whole street clearer and brighter. So making it clearer and brighter does not exclude you or exclude me from seeing it. So I would see, you would see also. So that's what we mean by non-excludable and non-rival. My consumption of it doesn't stop you consuming it. You benefiting from it does not stop me from benefiting from it. That is a public good. Is it clear? Then we have the private goods, the opposite of the public goods here. So what are private goods? I said these are goods that their consumption may prevent others from consuming such goods. So a private good is goods that when you consume it prevents others from consuming them. So your consumption of that product or of that service stops or will hinder others from getting the same service. Just like private tutor. In as much as I'm here, I can't be there. It's a private good. Do you understand? So the time is for you. In as much as you take the time, others can't take the same time as yours. So that's an example, that's a typical example of a private good. Is it clear? So that, and it is what excludable. What I just explained now is excludable, which means your consumption of my time doesn't allow any other person to consume the same time as yours. So, as in the consumption of it will prevent other person from consuming it. Which, example, a piece of land. If this is a house, right? It is built on the land. You buying this land means that no one else can buy this land. It's a private good. Ticket of a football match. The football clubs, maybe they have 50,000 capacity. So you can only sell ticket, 50,000 tickets. So as soon as 50,000 tickets are sold, we can't even have 50,001 in that stadium because the ticket is exclusive for 50,000 people. That is a private good. Is it clear? Great. So public goods are different to private goods as the cost of producing an extra unit of such goods, like the marginal cost, is zero. For public goods, the cost of producing extra units, the marginal cost is zero, unlike private goods. The private goods, the cost of producing extra units at first reduces or falls, and in the long run, it starts increasing. But for a public good, the cost of producing extra units is zero, just like the street lighting. It's there. You can produce more street lighting, it does not cost nothing. The air will breathe it. Consumption of it does not cost you from consuming it. Defense. The population of Libya, let's say it's 6 million now. If it becomes 7 million, defense will still be defense. These are public goods. It's clear, right? Great. Non-provision of public goods. Then we have to talk about the free rider problem. Who is a free rider? A free rider is an individual or an organization that benefits on what others will pay for. They will benefit and they are not paying for them. So they are benefiting from what others have contributed for. That's a free rider. So let's see how it works here. The free rider problem. It said if the provision of the public goods were left to the market mechanism, there will be market failure. The market mechanism, we're talking about the free market, the private sector. So they said if these goods are left in the hands of the private sector, the free market, there will be a market failure. What would cause this market failure? The free riders. It will cause the market failure. How? Before I move further, these public goods are goods that you cannot stop anyone from benefiting from. As a result of this, if the private sector businesses provide them, stopping consumers from benefiting from them becomes a market failure. And those that are not contributing will definitely be stopped from consuming them or from benefiting them. So there's a market failure from the producer and also as a result of the consumer not wanting to contribute. So look at here, I said, this is because of the free rider problem. Who is a free rider? A person or organization that receives the benefits which others pay for. So they are receiving the benefit of what others have contributed for. Since the public goods are non-excludable, it is difficult to stop others from benefiting from them. Okay, it is difficult to stop others from benefiting from them. Once they are provided. So you can't stop others from benefiting from them. It's in as much as they are provided. As a result of that, governments may provide these goods and allow consumers to pay taxes. This doesn't make them a private good or pure public good. Rather, they become quasi-public goods. So, what we are saying is this. Since these goods, if they are provided by the free market, there's going to be a market failure. And what we want to stop is market failure. We want to eradicate market failure. And to eradicate market failure, we need to provide goods and services that are affordable for consumers. I think it's clear. So, because these goods have to be provided and they are not excludable, government will provide them and allow individuals or consumers to pay a certain amount of money in form of tax for the consumption. So because they have paid taxes on the consumption, it is not a pure public goods anymore because they have paid for it. It becomes a quasi-public good. So what's a quasi-public good? I said quasi-public goods, these are goods that do not totally possess the characteristic of pure public goods, as in non-rival and non-excludable. At the same time, they are not perfectly considered as rival and excludable. They are in between a public good and a private good. They are not public and they are not private. They are in between. So we call them quasi-public goods. So these goods, it will be provided and you pay a certain amount of money or taxes on them. Is it clear? So these goods have a strong case of being provided by the government. Because the free market may not provide enough of them if they are non-rival. The free market, they only provide goods and services that are rival. Because that is the only way they could charge higher prices. And that is the only way they could maximize profit. So if these goods are left in the hands of the free market, they will not provide enough so that they can become scarce and they can increase the prices. So it is very important that government provides these quasi-products or quasi-goods. Though it is not public. It is not public as a result of being paid for. That means before you can consume it, or in the course of you consuming them, you have to pay a certain amount of money. It might be small, it might be little, but you have to pay. For a public goods, you don't pay. But these goods need to be paid for to continuously become efficient and effective. The road. Some roads are constructed by the government, but to maintain them, it needs a lot of money to maintain them. So government will construct the road and make commuters or people that passes through the road pay toll gates for the maintenance of the road. It is not public anymore. It becomes a quasi-public good. The private sector would not want to do this because it is not right. It is non-rival and non-excludable. It won't be so expensive. They might not maximize profit from it. So, example of quasi-public goods are as follows. Government constructing a road and making those who drive along the road pay tolls. You pay a toll gate for the road that has been constructed by the government. So the road is not a public good anymore. It becomes a quasi-public good. Paying subscription on television viewing. So you watch TV, but there are you watch some channels for free, and you have to subscribe for other channels. It is not a public good, not a private, because it is non-excludable. Me subscribing does not make you not subscribe. You can also subscribe for it. But if I am subscribing and you are unable to subscribe, then it becomes a private good. So such good is not private or public, rather a quasi-public good. So how many roads do you think the free market can construct, or have you seen the private sector constructing? Sorry, I said, how many roads do you think the free market can construct, or have you seen the private sector construct before? Construct any road. Construct any. So based on what we talked about here, we said, how many roads do you think the free market can construct? Or have you seen the private sector construct any? Yeah. Most of the roads are constructed by the government. Or have you ever seen the private sector trying to construct a road, making a road construction their project? The answer will be no. Because road is more of a public good. And it is non-rival. It is non-rival. So the construction of road does not allow businesses, the free market, to maximize profit. Because the free market will be interested in providing such good or service if they are rival, if they are excludable. But roads are not excludable. It's for everybody. So it does not interest them. Because the profit maximization there is, they might not maximize profits. So that's why I said, as they are public goods which do not interest the free market. They don't interest the free market. The free market does not put efforts in providing goods that are non-rival or non-excludable. Their interest is on goods that are rival and excludable. Is it clear? You have any question about it?